So we have Heat here today to teach us about how to be a good soldier.
Now that TFC is dead.
So Heat, what do you want to go over first? What do you want to talk about?
What?
You
This
want
is
to
what?
Do you want to just go over a map, like a position or something, and how you aim your rockets and stuff?
Let's just do an open discussion. Who has questions?
So actually, Heat, let's.
How do you soldier?
I guess. I'm start off with the basics. So, would you argue that the different roles a soldier should play within a map, so to speak?
Yes and no. I mean, there are basic concepts that you should always just kind of carry over.
Such
And
as?
then, such as your rocket aim. And so a lot of my playstyle is intuition, just kind of reading the offense and then making adjustments from there. So, like, I don't know what you've heard, but I hear that people are annoyed by my soldier because I hit rockets. And my rocket percentage isn't because I have good aim, it's because I'm good at adapting and reading players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that because you play with a small? I mean, granted, we all play with a small collection of players, but I mean, relatively small community of players. Like you've been playing with the in-house guys for a number of years,
Right.
so you know their play styles. But
yeah, so yeah, that's what I mean by adapting fast. So within like 1 or 2 runs, I can already understand like what to anticipate on who is coming in based on timing of the death messages. So
Could you give us an example, perhaps, with Nuki as a cannon fodder?
okay. Well, let me spectate.
this might be a tough map to do that on.
Do a speed run to go to flag room. Okay.
Off to a good start.
So wait, before you start, let's which position on this map do you want me to explain like my thought process?
Take your pick, man. Top spiral, bottom, doesn't matter. I'm just trying to figure out how you think. That's all.
Okay, so top spiral. This is all about sound. Most of the time, you can hear drops when an offense drop or conks to bats, and they go like if they go too high, you'll hear like a little thud. So you know like they're coming through this bats. That's how I play that. And here, let me just go into position. And then most of the time,
Tell me when to go.
I'm playing right here. This way I can see if they're going ramp room. And if I see 2 or more going this way,
Mm-hmm.
then I can assume the last guy or the last 2 are going to be on bats or whatever. But depending on like the run, if we're talking about rush, I'm only focusing on battlements. If I see the 2 go under me, I'm just going to calm that and assume they're going Ellie. Unless I take a fight and I see all 4 of them here, then I know like they're not. It's going to be a late Ellie, or they're going to have to go through me first. And then from there, another trick is to like not respawn immediately, especially when you're in position. And if you die, you can still move and look and like make your comms on where they're coming from, right? So top spiral, I'm focused on just holding the spiral on rush. If it's Ellie, then if I hold this down, then I know there's 3 defenders in the flag room already that should be able to take care of whoever's going Ellie. So that's so okay. You can make a run and go try to go bats. Like you don't have to go bats, but like you can yeah. See, do you hear that? Like I already knew he was there. Yeah. So that from that moment that I heard that thump, I would already like kind of pre-fire a rocket there. But just because I knew he like there's high probability that something's coming there. Another like that's very dependent, but usually I see what goes wrong in soldiers is they try to play. They they play very passive. So if Nuki's like trying to get by me, most soldiers will back up with Nuki, right? And you're like giving them free space.
hmm
So what you want to do is you want to like zone out the offense. So if I know that his main intention is to come spiral, I'm either, depending on where I hear the thump, if it's a far thump, then I'll push right here, right? And like I'll just keep him choked right there.
But
If it's
you've abandoned the great area. Someone can easily conk up there, right?
right, but you can also like hear that conk if it comes through. But what's most likely going to happen is they're either going to try to push me and I'm just going to kill them immediately here, or I'm going to get a good shot and they're going to like back, if it's a medic, they're going to back up and wait for their nade to like finish priming. And at that point, if I get the first shot and they're on like their first or second beep of their prime, I still have time to back up over here, right? And by that time, like they're going to come in and they're either going to short their nade or they're just going to full commit and come with me. And then I just kill them in here and then I'm back in the spiral anyway. So like I would never really push over here unless the flag is already up here. So like what you want to do is you just want to like stall and do as much damage as you can and hold your chokes that you can, like as best as possible. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
actually, it did. Thank you.
So let's see.
What are your
There
thoughts on pre-fire? I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on pre-firing?
Pre-firing's fine. I wouldn't full commit. I usually only do one or two, depending on my nades. Like try to ration your ammo if you have no nades. But pre-firing's fine. If most of the time you can hear or when you hit your pre-fire, like you'll see blood come out or something, right? If I don't see blood come out like the first time, then I probably won't fire another one, or I'll fire another one after I've fully reloaded. Um, but so the other trick about like hitting the first rocket on whatever, like either most players will like kind of get scared and then they'll wait or something because they don't want to get juggled or something in a small choke. So you can use that time to reposition yourself to a better spot for him to like avoid the incoming fodder that's going to come in. If you're just playing against some guy that's just like full intent, full sending you to kill you, then there's like all you want to do is you want to kill him as fast as you can and get as far away from the death nade. That's going to happen, right? Otherwise, if you don't hit your shots, then you're just going to have to take the damage. The thing about resupping is in this spot, I value my life over the incoming. So if I'm at like 30 health and I hear someone drop or like on bats, I'm gonna let them free into spiral and resup. And this is because I don't want the 50-50 of spawning far and then leaking more in, right? So
Oh, good idea.
But that's map dependent, yeah? It's like for this particular map you do that.
yeah. So so that's also a thing that you should consider is like the management of the offensive players. Like, is it better to let one in or like stop that one and let three in, versus like let the one in and then slow down the other three, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, so you have three defenders in like in the basement, and you're like the only guy up here. So I value my life over stopping one guy. If I have four in, I'm going to like try and do as much damage as possible. That way, it's easy for the lower to kill them fast and reset. If I focus on one guy, and then three come in, it's harder to stop the three full health than to like stop four half health or something like that. Simply because of how narrow this map is and like how big rockets and grenade damage comes out through splash damage. So yeah, I wouldn't like hard focus one guy and let 3 in. I would just kind of play the choke and try to do as much damage as I can. Hopefully you get one pick and some damage, and that's like the best scenario that you can get. The other timing is you really have to pay attention to the offensive death messages. If at one time, say 3 are in the basement and you know, like, so you're anticipating one guy, I would fall back and I would try to help the basement and let that one guy trickle in after we kill the 3. Um, that's just simply to help out the basement, because if the basement dies and they spawn far, it's you now you're dependent on rotating, and that's just a lot more. That's a lot harder to manage. It's like preserving your life over killing someone, right? So if I'm playing basement, the basement you want to preserve your life even more than this top position.
Any tricks for reading death messages?
Yeah, so if you have like hard time multitasking, I wouldn't really pay attention on like the player that dies. Maybe just count how many players died.
How long are death messages up? Like, how old could it possibly be?
I think it depends on how many people die in succession, because it can flood over. But if at any time one person dies, I think it's up there for a few seconds. It's like, yeah, I was gonna say like 5 seconds, but 6, sure. Playing angles. I'm not the best to talk at this. When I take fights, I like to take let's see. So I only hold chokes when I know they're like approaching me. If they're gonna like sit over there and shoot me, I'm not holding this anymore, because I know like they're anticipating, or it's easier to anticipate where I'm going to be and lob a nade at me. So if they're just holding me there, I'll either just back up or I'll just rush them down and kill them quick. Rushing down usually works because offense doesn't expect it, and that way, like, if someone's coming in and they have a nade primed, they're gonna expect it to like blow up there, right? But if I push them, it's gonna go past me. I'm gonna avoid all that nade damage. So that's also kind of an intuition thing, like depending on when you hear the thump or when you hear the prime, if you can even hear the prime. But playing angles, if you're like playing to preserve your life, you just kind of want to spam like the most high percentage shot that would like do damage. So if I were to like back up and try to play angles here, I would just shoot there, shoot there, shoot there, shoot there, right? I wouldn't try to aim like in the mid ramp room or anything. Just try to aim in the spots that would have high percentage to do some splash damage. Also, like, consider your surroundings. A lot of soldiers always try to shoot the feet when there are a lot easier shots to hit off of a wall. It's kind of like basketball. Like, most people want to kind of like do a swish shot when they can utilize the backboard more and for a higher percentage shot, right? So it's not always the best to shoot the ground if you can shoot the back wall. It's something easier to hit, right? To be like precise to hit that choke is it's a lot easier to just hit that wall. It does about the same damage if they're there, right? The siege, the shoop or the water, because there's different ways to play siege.
Oh,
And
before we move to Siege, does anyone have any other questions on this map?
No.
So for bottom soldiers, just clean up more or less, right? You just literally.
bottom soldier is there's a lot more coordination going on with your two soldiers. Um, this one, so you always want to preserve your life more than anything, even if that means they get flag movement. So if, say, the LE, this is a very common attack area because Spiral has 2 defenders and LE only has 1, right? So here, if you're DMing and you get pretty low and there's like a fresh guy coming down, I would go resup and let that guy through, or even let 2 through. If I was low, you just preserve your life here. And then when this guy goes like pretty low, that's when you have to rotate and you switch positions. When everything's like kind of calmish again, then you can go back to rotating again. You don't want to rotate just for the sake of rotating. You want to like make sure that your defense is set first. So even if that means like if I was designated Ellie, now I'm playing Spiral, like until everything is like reset and we're kind of stable. Then I can go back to my more comfortable position if you're an elevator player. Protect the Ellie more than Spiral. Yeah, so that's okay. That's that's like a multi-layer question. That's dependent on the incomings, exactly. So if the top soldier goes down and he calls like 3 Spiral, then I would want to play more right here. Just so I'm quicker to rotate if they kill this guy, or if this guy has to back up after he kills one and he has to go resup or something. So I'm here to stop that guy. And if there's one leak through elevator, you should be able to hear the drop still from this area. And that way, it's just a matter of like playing this angle and playing this angle now. Yeah. 4-2 fort, those are the rules. Audio is very big on Soldier too, yes. There are some where it's like more of the intuition type shots. Open fire is a good one. Shutdown 2 is a good one. Even siege is like a good one to learn your to learn the offensive mannerisms. That way you can get higher percentage shots than kind of raw on the fly shooting.
I've heard this done as force soldier defense. What do you do with force soldier? Is the force soldier just in the flag room?
No, then you have 1 top LA, 1 bottom, 1 Spiral.
How would you
1 bottom
play
Spiral.
top Ellie?
Top Ellie, you're just there until you die, pretty much. Because this needs to be reserved for the bottom Spiral guy or this Ellie guy, unless you have good like communications to rotate. So if you're doing a rotating like lineup, then wherever one guy dies, then the guy in front falls back, and whoever just spawns, because you always spawn top, is taking over whoever just died. Does that make sense? So like if I die here, this Ellie guy is gonna drop and play my position, and I'm now gonna play top Ellie when I get back here. Same with the spirals. And then if
So-
2 same time, then whoever's in the front has to fall back, and then the new guy takes over the front line position.
So you just literally plug that hole. You wouldn't play more ramp room at all?
No, yeah, you just want to plug holes. That's a good saying, or a good way to think about it. But if
Okay.
so a lot of soldiers aren't like comfortable. Once they get past you, it's over compared to moving.
Ew, CB. Don't be gross.
A lot of soldiers like rotating as soldiers. It in theory is the idea is very simple, but it's pretty hard to execute. Um, so if you're not going to rotate, then this guy, he just always comes back here. Like he would only fall back if your bottom two die and they have the flag. But most of the time you just want to sit here. But unless so the other caveat is if you see all four offense pile into the spiral, then you can drop back to help. Because what's going to happen is if you call all four spiral, they kill the top spiral guy. This bottom LA guy should be rotating into the middle, into the basement. So he should be leaving this spot and rotating over here to support this guy who's most likely going to die to the four medics coming in. And then if that guy dies, this guy comes over and you should now, since you're back here, you should now be in this spot, like ready to support the next guy. So like a big thing that soldiers do is they get so fixated on their spot. Like if you see four going the other way, you're literally of no use here. You're not doing anything productive anymore, right? Like you made the incoming and then a lot of people will just still sit here and not do anything. And um that isn't always like sometimes it'll work out, but most likely like the best thing to do is to make a judgment call on like to get the highest productivity of your time. Um, so what I mean by that, like even just going down the elevator and just playing here after you call that four, even though you're not going to be shooting anything still, you're still faster to rotate in case something happens. Sure.
Well, siege first, right? Oh,
Yeah. He wants to see Shoop anyways.
all right. Any other last questions on this before we go to siege?
Are there any good tricks to getting back fast from that far far respawn?
Kill yourself again.
No.
Uh,
Yeah?
you mean
No.
like just for the sake of saving time?
Yeah, just to like hurry back kind of
You can
thing.
do this. That's about it.
That's
When you
what I
come out of
thought.
the spawn, like I'll shoot a rocket down towards the other entrance when I come out of that spawn.
Yeah. The other thing is like you can just like shoot your rockets down this way if you know that there's offense coming. That's all. That's about it.
Okay. Alright, I'm ready for siege.
The other thing is, if you're coming this way, a lot of people like their first, or I don't know, their first response to use their nail grenade is to do this, right? This is terrible. Don't ever do this. This is more hurtful to your defense than it is like effective against the offense. If you're gonna throw your nail, just leave it on the bats. Like that nail is terrible. It's bad for this soldier in like many different levels. One, like you can't hear. Two, if I'm low already, okay. If this soldier is low, you're reducing his chances of resupping and like just TKing him instead. Yeah, so just leave your nail out here. When should you use nails? I'm not a good person to ask that. I'm not very effective with my nails. But You usually want to time it. Yeah. I usually just throw it out there because I'm not dependent on the nail, so I'll just throw it, and hopefully, and just like hope for the best that someone comes that way and it blows up on them or whatever. But if you really want to be strategic about it, you read the death messages, and then you would time the offensive run. Nail explosion equal grenade.
And
They-
damage.
I don't actually know.
Yes. I think the nail explosion actually might do a little bit more damage. I'm not
I thought
sure
it did
about that.
more.
Yeah, they're pretty close, but I don't know. It's stay alive, rotate, track people, kill people, throw nails at you. Got it. Yeah.
All right, let's go to siege.
Yeah, too bad the nail exploit's gone. Okay.
I'm gonna sit out this, but I'll see you guys in a bit or later.
Matter Siege
whenever.
Pro.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for the thanks for the lessons, Heat.
You're gone too?
Yeah.
Bye.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
disruptive. GG.
Alright, see ya. So what is what are you struggling the most with on CB?
So the problem I have is with Shoop Soldier. I never know if I should play. I realize my job is keep people out of Shoop,
Mhm.
but I tend to get just spammed like hell from the battlements, and I never know if I should play in the Shoop or outside of it. It's just I'm trying to figure out what are priorities here.
Okay. It's dependent on your defense. The way that I play it, I say fuck my teammates and I just play it the way that I want to play it. But like the most effective way to do it is just stay down here. Because you can still hear bunny hops on if they're coming water or if they're going ramp. And that's like the most effective thing that you can do. But if you want to like get into the action, a lot of it is timing runs and tactical spam on that corner, and or even just like the center of the thing. I like to aim for this corner or this side more than this thing, simply because most people will conk from back here. And if you shoot this, it's gonna do like minimal damage or not even hit them. So you have a higher percentage chance of doing some damage if you shoot further down. So if I want to get into the action, what I'm doing the most here is I'm literally chain priming for this bag. I come up here, I use my nades, I grab this bag, I make my comms, I throw my nades back, and then I'll go back like to this spot, or I'll just fall back down. So I'm just like trying to do bursts of damage as I come up and timing this grenade bag. So when I know the grenade back is when I'll be a little bit more aggressive, use my nades to do as much damage, and then come back. What I see, people do that like kind of hurts them the most is they try to play right here, and they just get conked over, and then they leak shoot like immediately. There isn't really a good thing to, or this isn't really a good spot to do it. If I were to play up more, I would play on this water ramp instead. So at least if I see an incoming like conk coming shoot, I can drop off this edge and I'm more likely to hit them in the air and stop that conk. So Nuki, can you do the conk from the front door?
Into shoot.
Yeah, into shoot.
Easy.
Yeah, so like it's not always going to work, but you see how like I had that height right there, and if he didn't go as wide as he did, I probably would have collided into him. and he would have just like landed with me. If I were to stand here, he would just go over my head. The other thing to do, like it's not effective, is to just try to shoot your feet when they meet you, or like when they conk over you. That way they have a chance of hitting their head on that lip, and they don't go straight in.
Okay. So anything else with shoop, or can we talk about water, please?
That's about it. But the most effective thing is to just sit in here, and then jump up here and make your comms. You always want to check this corner though. A lot of players like to hide here, wait for the soldier to come up, and then they'll just slide right in behind them. Or at least like more experienced players will do that. But if you have an itch to get like or to get involved, just abuse that grenade bag and then go back into your position. Water is, so there's two ways to play this. One is to just literally sit on the flag and shoot things. Like there's nothing really to explain about this position. You just sit here and you shoot like the incoming guys coming for like the scoop. This water spot, I like to play it a little bit aggressive, like in this hallway versus this hallway. That's only,
what do you mean?
so instead of playing like taking my fight in this hallway like this, I like to take my fight here. And this is mainly to just as a stall tactic. Because most likely the heavy is going to be distracted by this ramp guy, and I'm just trying to stall enough time for him to kill that guy and weaken this guy enough to kill him this coming guy in this hallway. If I don't get the kill here, like my only objective is to like stall enough time for the heavy to get back over here and finish the kill. If the gun is down, then this is probably the highest probability to not leak the flag out is to stand on the flag. But if the gun is up, then I would play here. And if I get a water incoming, I'm gonna push him because they're not gonna expect this, and I'll usually get the kill right here. And then I'll fall back. If I see multiple waters coming, I'm falling all the way back. That's when I'll play over here, because now instead of like, it's harder to stall against two guys if you're going to eat two nades. You just want to stall. If it's multiple people coming, you just want to stall while falling back. And then if they try to conk from here, you're either going to try to shoot this roof to like stop them from making it to this platform, or you're just trying to block them in any way possible, depending on where your gun is. If your gun is like supporting you, then I would play a little bit. I would play a little bit more aggressive. If it's in the back, I want to like stall. Have them try to nail the gun from the back, and I get better shots.
At sacrificing the gun, of course.
Yeah.
Guns are supposed to eat nades. It's their only purpose.
When do I switch to shoddy?
Very quickly.
I switch to shoddy when I need to finish a kill, or when I need to just do initial far damage. Like if I'm playing here, I'll like spam my grenade and rocket there, and most of the time I'll have my shoddy out ready. Most of the time my initial rocket is like a guess shot to like stop them. It's not there to like set up a kill. So if I see someone from the front door bunny hopping and I know he's gonna go my left, I'll shoot this wall and I'm just shotting him the entire way. And if he's the only guy, I'm gonna chase him here and like shoddy him some more. What you don't want to do is this, chase them, and then like try to hit some miraculous rocket there. Like your shotty is there to like output as much damage as possible. Or at least that's like the mentality that I take as soldiers, to output as much damage as possible.
This map's a lot about timing as well, since there's only one respawn for the offense. So you can, if you're playing up, if you're playing up in the ramp room, you can really have an idea of when they're coming.
Yeah. This shoot position can't hear actual water, I don't believe.
No, shoot can't.
You I don't even know if you can hear it here. You probably can, but
No, you can't hear the gurgles on this map. You can hear them coming out of the water, but you can't hear the gurgling.
yeah. Yeah, the only thing that will help you is like hearing the bunny hops when you're down here. Like you can hear the bunny hops from down here if they're going left. If they're going this way and they're bunny hopping. Or yeah, and then if they start their bunny hop at that right there, at that doorway, you can hear the water calm. Yeah, so that's actually like a good point on playing offense, is sometimes it's better to not bunny hop, especially if you're trying to just kind of get a surprise fast way into the flag room. Yeah, if you're still in there, I don't hear you at all.
Yeah, you can't hear it on this map. I don't know what they did to prevent that, but you definitely can hear them coming out.
Can you hear the grenade prime though, or no?
You can hear the click probably. No, I didn't hear the click there. I
Yeah,
heard
okay.
I heard you surface though.
Yeah, you can't hear anything from this water other than them surfacing.
Yeah, this map is mostly stalling, doing damage where you can, and sitting on the flag. That's what soldier is on this map.
So what would a more challenging soldier map be? For you,
Shutdown
that is.
2.
You mean Rice Krispies' favorite map?
It's a terrible map.
Shutdown 2, Stowaway, Storms. Storms is a really hard position.
Storms is tough, yeah.
Would you actually mind going over Storms if we're done when we finish this map up? Because I get my ass kicked on Storms as soldier a lot.
When do you play
Oh.
soldier on storms?
When an RG decides to come
When do you play soldier, actually?
I'm trying to become multi-class, okay there, Sug? I'm trying to branch out from NG, and soldier's natural position.
Well, there's no more questions on CV. Go to Storms.
I guess, yeah, Storms is fine, but I mean, I'm really trying to figure out what it means to like play soldier. Is it just how do I improve my soldier game? And don't say ask DM and get better at DMing because that's not going to work.
A lot of it is just intuition, and depending if you're frontline or backline. Frontline, you're just there to do damage. You're not there to kill things. You're there to slow down the offense and like feed the backline the kills. If you're backline, you have to assess like what your flag room looks like, where the flag is, and play to your incomings. Like I said, like the worst backline soldiers are the one that are just so fixated on like their position. If you're not being productive, that's like the worst thing you can do. If you're out of position, but you have like good line of sights on doing damage and helping your team out, that's better than like being in position, in my opinion. You don't rotate soldier. The bats guy, because it's so fast. Like the bats guy is the bats guy.
Alright, let's go to storms then.
Another trick to like rocketing people is each map has like patterns. There are patterns of like flight patterns of where you hit rockets and where you can already kind of anticipate where people will go and land. Storms is a good one. I'll show. So, like Storms has a really good pattern on bats, which makes it pretty easy to kill. So the way that I play Storms, I play aggressive and I play here. And that's mostly because in in-house, the demo pipes here and the flag. So if you come bat snooky, come as medic. And then just try to get through. Here, you also want to hear for audio cue. There's an audio cue when they drop here.
You mean if?
So he took a sharp turn, but most likely what's going to happen is you're going to shoot him here, and the flight pattern is they're going to end up in this corner. So you want to. I wasn't ready.
Oh, okay. I was like,
So what you want to do is you're going to shoot them here, and then you just already assume that they're going to go there, because that's like 9 out of 10 times they're going to end up there, unless they do what Nuki did, and they're going to end up like right here. All right, come in. Yeah. So that's like I like this spot because that pattern is pretty consistent. The other one is if they hold W, then they're going to be in this corner. So there's only really like 3 or 4 spots to shoot here. It's here, and that's like, and they all pretty much combo as long as you hit this first rocket. So like once you hit here, you can 9 out of 10 times you can assume they're going to be right there. The other thing that's kind of effective against this spot is like conking underneath them, and this will like pop you up, right? And then they'll just get in. Not really much you can do about that without like learning the offense through death messages. So if you see 2 guys come through that way, and then there's been a while and no one's came bats, you can assume like the other 2 are water, or one of them is going to come from here and try to do that move on you. So in that case, if I haven't heard anything land bats and I've seen the 2 there, then that's when I'll back up here to stop this guy from conking underneath me. If flag room's in trouble, you're just using shotgun mostly right here. I'm just trying to kill everything. If demo goes down, then you want to play somewhere back here. Your good shot here is either this wall or like right in front of that door, like this archway thing. Because this is the conk timing. It's like just shoot into there. So you want to shoot that or that. If you get ran over, multiple medics on bats. All right, this is map specific. Here, I would choose to kill over like do damage over multiple people. So if you see multiple, I would focus one and give the comms for the rest. Just simply because of how the map works. It's like fast rotate or fast spawns, right? If you spawn here, you can come back pretty quick to catch up to whoever that you just leaked through. And instead of having to worry of multiple people in here, there's like one less person if you killed one, right? Same thing with this spawn. It's pretty fast to meet who you leaked already. So it's easier to manage the flag room with less people, is my mentality on this map. But what you don't want to do is overcommit. Like, if you hear someone bats and you hit him, you don't want to chase this kill. Like, that's leaving this way too open. And yeah, unless you hear multiple people on bats, then that's when I would be a bit more aggressive, because you already know that the heavy is probably going to kill one and the other guy is probably going to be water or something. So at this point, you're just trying to get the kill for here. So so that way you stagger the offense. So if you get that initial hit here, and you don't chase these multiple people on bats, and you let them come in again, that's going to be 4 in one run versus like the one that died. And if I pushed here, that first guy who died to the heavy is going to come back and I'll kill another one, right? Or I'll probably get a kill here. And then that staggers the offense to 3 people instead of 4 people. But that's only if there's multiple people coming this way. Like, you want to stagger the offense on this map.
And that's obviously map dependent or specific. I get that. I was just kind of trying to figure out what would be a good way to improve soldier. Just is it merely reading the offense? Is that the only thing I have to improve on, or
Yeah. So a lot of my I consider my soldier strong is because of my positioning and my rotations. It's not my aim. Like uh aim helps, but I don't think that's why my soldier is annoying or hard to play against.
well, that and the shotguns?
Yeah, I don't even think my shotgun's that great, but positioning is probably the most important thing on playing soldier.
So I noticed that when you were coming out, like turn around real quick, back to the ramp room. So your focus is merely the battlements. You don't even bother throwing some rockets underneath the button at all. You don't worry
Nope,
about that.
because that's the heavy's job. Like, if I'm wasting ammo there, that's less damage for me to output when something comes my way. I mean,
Okay.
you can use your shotgun here. That's fine, but I wouldn't waste my rockets like this.
I think that's where I'm screwing up. I tend to overcommit like that.
Yeah, and then you just want to pay attention to the rocket patterns.
So what's your favorite map to soldier on?
Shutdown 2 plank.
But didn't you just say Shutdown 2 is one of the harder maps for soldier?
Yeah, which is why I like it.
Okay then.
Some people like a challenge, CB.
You want to go
And-
to shutdown 2?
Up to you guys, unless you have more Storms questions.
And
We
I
got to
guess
give him some phantom at some point so we can get some air shots too.
so. I guess my other question is, does your Shutdown 2 tactic involve pitting people at all?
That's part of, like, that's not my intention, but that's just something that comes with the territory of playing that position. So initial on rushes, throw your nails there, and rocket jump up to here if you spawn the bad. Or if I spawn up here, I'm not quick to go to button. I want to help my engineer, so I'll come through here, and I'll either throw my bag that way, or go here and throw my bag for him, and then play here. But if I spawn lower, I'm throwing my nail into that hallway immediately and rocket jumping onto this position to stop whatever's coming this way. The key to this on like here is rotating and giving comms for your ramp soldier, because you can hear the button when you shoot it or when they activate it. And then from there you can hear the bunny hops to comm if they're coming close. If you know they're coming close, you want to shoot right there. Most people won't take this close corner. They're gonna try to play away from the line of sight of that soldier and like get a conk that way. So if you shoot on that outside edge, you're probably gonna mess up their conk or whoever's coming in and primed at the front door. The other spot is just like shooting mid ramp if they're DMing the soldier. The hard spot is like playing here. This is like probably the worst or the most difficult spot that I feel like when I'm playing this position. So I try to avoid playing this area right here. One, because they can conk over my head that way. And two, there's a lot of room to maneuver around this soldier if you play there. Like a lot of people can do this jump and slide by you, or they can just DM you from back here. So I wanted to like either meet them before that happens. And then, but if they're all coming front door, I'm immediately falling back. Maybe I'll like throw a rocket down while I'm going through, like try to stop it. If it's a staggered offense, then I will stay here and like try to help out. But if it's like the rush or if it's a full offensive reset, like they all like 3 or 4 of them die at one time, so I know they're all coming in at the same time, and then I hear that they're all coming front door. I'm staying like here, shooting this, and I'm making my way to support the flag room and staying here. Yeah, this is when I would play backup link, is when I know there's a ball of offense coming through. I'll play up when I know the offense is staggered. The other time I play back plank is when ramp dies and he spawns far. Or I shoot when I'm behind plank. I like to shoot underneath that sign. Because a lot of people will use this to like get cheap shots, and they don't expect that rocket can go in between there. So that hits them a lot. The other one is like at the beginning of that turn. If they're coming, they go through it. If they jump on, yeah. Does this go through if they jump on it? That will still hit them. I think it hits them in the back. If they're coming down the plank, I'm either shooting at the plank, shooting in parallel with the plank, straight across. So they have to like either maneuver around it or they just meet the rocket like with their face. I don't know. The other one is that takes a little bit more reaction time. Is if you see the conk from there, then I'm shooting the ceiling. That's all reaction time though. If not, like, I don't know, you have to shoot your feet if you're not fast enough. And the other thing is if you missed your initial rockets and if they're coming plank, I'm not falling back. This is like the spot where I don't want to be, because this flag room soldier should have my back here already. I'm gonna try to hold them on this corner, and I'm playing this angle. You want to shoot towards the back wall, most likely, because the initial response for like a medic that's gonna DM you is gonna like keep space from your soldier and keep this thing or play this wall to like avoid whatever incoming things are coming through. So I'm mostly aiming for this back, these two spots. Also, if like this happens a lot too, is you get into the stalemate against someone on this wall right here. And then what happens a lot is you think they're gonna like strafe out of you, so you're gonna miss rockets when you try to shoot to the side. This happens on all maps actually. When you get into a stalemate with someone and you're just facing face to face, and you'll probably notice that you missed a lot of rockets because you're guessing they're gonna strafe away from you. Just you need to like break that habit and just shoot at them. Like 9 out of 10 times that this rocket going directly at them is going to do more damage than this one that you're guessing they're going to step into. Yeah. The other, yeah, that's like my other thing is to stop kind of like guessing where people are going to like go with the rocket and just kind of shoot at them. You'll find like your rocket's hitting a bit more than kind of predicting where they're going. Unless it's like some straightaway bunny hop line, and then you have to predict where they're going. But if you're in a one-on-one and they're not, and there's like limited movement to go around somewhere, just shoot directly at them, like right at their feet, and don't guess like they're gonna go this way or that way. You're gonna miss more times than not.
Okay. What about top ramp, the Rice Krispie as I call it?
This I don't really play this position too much, but you want to stand here. Even though this blocks that line of sight, it's best to stand here. This way they can't ramp slide past you. You can even give like a little gap like this, so you can try to get more spacing on see like down the ramp into that corner. But essentially, you just want to negate the amount of space that you give the offense to maneuver in. So if you're standing here, you know the offense has to go this way now. Otherwise, they're just gonna like meet you right here, and you just shoot your feet, and you should have a pretty easy kill. So if when you position yourself in a way where you can already dictate the the line that your offense is going to take, this already reduces the amount of space that you have to aim. So you're just by standing here, you already know that most of your aim needs to be on this left side of the ramp. Like, so if they're ramp sliding, you don't have to adjust your aim to like go if you're looking right, you don't have to adjust to the left. You can already just be looking left. Because most like 9 out of 10 times when they're trying to ramp slide this, and you're standing here, they're going left. You can just shoot right here, and that will just full stop them. If they do the other one where they like try to conk over you, that one I would utilize the wall more. I wouldn't try to like stop that conk from doing this because it's a low percentage shot to do damage.
Midway up the wall, like far left.
Yeah.
And that will almost always like kill at least half their momentum.
Yeah, but the most important thing is just kind of dictating the offensive line. So just by standing here, you're already limiting the offense to like half of this ramp. Resupping versus dying here. On this version with nades, yes. In Logrens, still yes. Yeah, I would still value my life over dying and killing one. Just simply because you can, when you get your full resup, you can just go straight back into the flag room if you need to. In-house has a SC2 LG. fall back to Ellie. Yeah. So if you see them going into Ellie and the Ellie is up, again counting the offense. If there's like 2 dead and then 1 approaches you and they come Ellie, I would chase this guy with the high probability that you're going to leak 1T. 1, because you're going to get this kill, and then you can still give the incoming to T. So what you don't want to happen is, even if this Ellie's up and some guy is down here and you let him go there, there's still a high probability that they can conk up and get your gun. So I would chase the Ellie guy. I would much rather have 1 guy full health come through, deal with a soldier and an SG, than to like either stay on my position to kill the T guy and let this guy get the gun. It takes longer to reset the gun than to handle, or it's easier to handle the full guy in the flag room who's limited to this space than to try to reset an entire gun. What if you're playing versus a tricky raccoon that you just want to stop? If you're playing against a raccoon that you want to stop, this is what you do. You hold a grenade, you run up to him, you shoot your feet, and you handheld him.
God damn it.
You have more health than he does. Yeah.
So I have to grenade hug Nuki. That's the only strategy to effectively combat the raccoon.
Yeah.
Okay. So Heat, thank you. You've showed me most positions. I mean, flag room for this is just responding to incomings and rotating, right?
Yep. So pre-firing is big on this position, coming from whatever your ramp soldier is telling you. You want to shoot this wall, or you can shoot the ground. I like to shoot the wall.
Yeah, I noticed you prefer wall shots versus floor shots.
Yeah, it's just higher percentage. Like it's just an easier target to hit. I have depth perception problems, so like aiming or accurately aiming a rocket in this spot versus just shooting that thing is a lot easier for me. Especially when I'm in back plank and I'll just like throw rockets against that wall. And there's incomings coming that way.
Okay. Are there any other common mistakes one makes when they play soldier on this map, or just in general, I guess you would say?
The biggest ones that I see are people that kind of get caught up in a DM and they're moving with their offense and giving them space. You always want to just limit the amount of space that you're giving your opponent. One, because it's just easier to hit things that way, and 2, like you have a higher chance of killing them. The other one is people overcommitting rockets on like spam rockets. I like to preserve my rockets for, that's like my main source of damage are my rockets. If you're going to spam, just have your shotty out instead and just kind of poke at them versus trying to hit a good rocket on a guess.
So less showmanship and more accuracy.
Yeah, just consistent damage is what I try to do as soldier. If I'm gonna like throw a rocket, I'm only gonna throw one, probably, if that. And then if I want to throw another one, I want to make sure my chamber is full. How do you hit Wheaties? You aim for his face. You think I'm joking, but try it.
It's 100% true.
Wait, what? Expand upon that, please.
He moves back and forth so fast that if you just aim at where he is, he'll have moved away and back by the time you hit him.
He's like a moth to like a light source. He just runs into them.
Yeah.
Okay,
You-
so I have to grenade hug Nuki, and I have to shoot Wheaties in the face.
Yep.
So it seems Soldier is very situational, is what I'm gathering from this. Rotations, different angles and places.
Yeah, but the one thing that kind of carries over is always the positioning and like limiting the amount of space you give your offense to work with. Just so you want to use the splash damage to advantageously in a way that uh, it it does the most damage. And that's why I always like emphasize limiting the space. Like if I have a guy shooting me and DMing me here, I'd much rather DM him here than here. So if this is happening, I'm just gonna let him sit there, waste his time, stagger the offense, and take this fight that's better for me. Like if I'm just like full set on and fixated that I'm gonna like 1v1 this guy, I'd much rather take it in this space versus this space.
Yeah, there's more variables there. There's more room for him to move around and dodge.
Right.
Big old booty butts.
Congratulations, Heat. You had a Joel experience.
Oh.
Alright. Any other questions?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I haven't got to play with you a lot, and I was always curious what your favorite color might be.
Green.
Green. Cool. Also, I fall into the pit a lot. Is there any help for me?
Are you falling in because of your bunny hop or because you
I just
fall
want to
in?
try and find the piece of candy that's down there. They keep telling me about.
Oh, all right. So here's your solution. This is my suggestion for your solution. When you get here, you do this. You'll never fall in.
Cool.
And if you have to come out this way, do it again.
Can you do that again, Heat?
Yeah. Y'all, there's also this way to do it. You stand on the sign, go like this.
One more time.
Okay. Like this. Like this. Uh-oh.
You did a me.
Now, if you had the flag, we call that pulling a Nuki.
Oh shit. Who hasn't fallen in the pit?
So there's one more map I have a question on for you there, Heat, if everyone's okay with that. Sug, what is it Chem Fort? What is that annoying one with the jump course?
Yeah, it's comfort.
Thank you, Nuki.
What's
This
Kimfort?
is Chem Fort, dude.
Open fire.
Okay, so Lower Soldier. I played that in a
ST?
6v, yes, and I got my ass kicked. I guess a text kept telling me to play the angles, and I didn't know what that meant. So
Okay. This one, you're mainly listening for this bunny hop. And you want, like, if you hear that, then this is an easy fight, right? Like, you should get that one. I feel like the offense mainly comes bats on this map, don't they?
They do.
unless I'm playing Soldier and lower.
I think
I
you
wonder
go
why.
bats. I think you go bats most of the time here, unless the gun's down. Then you challenge the lower soldier is typically how I do it, so I can get that conk in. Like if
Yeah.
guns down and buttons down.
I don't really play this position too often, but if I were to choose a fight, it's definitely this right here. This is like the easiest one. I wouldn't play this. This doesn't feel like a good area for me. I would play here. I would play here. Yeah. So I'd play here because I'm limiting the amount of damage that I can take from the offense. Like the only way that they can throw or like do damage to me is shotting me from here and lob a nade. If I know a nade's coming, then I can just go right here, and this is probably the nade's probably gonna blow up here, and I'm just gonna avoid all damage. Yeah, and then this seems like a pretty decent spot to take a fight. You'll probably lose like to 2 medics, but you'll probably get one of the kills. Yeah.
Okay. I think my mistake was I was playing up further underneath that sign right there. And I was
Yeah,
just
this
getting
just feels
overrun.
terrible. Yeah, this doesn't feel good at all to me. This the only like good thing I can tell you or I can think about this is I can hear the incoming front door and I can stop this guy, whoever's coming here. Or I can hear if the button guy goes back to the bats guy. But I can also hear that from here. So yeah, I just don't like this spot. This spot only has this right here. That seems really good to me. Otherwise, I would play in the back of this Tetris piece.
Okay, thank you.
And then if they're like set on adamantly like shotting you behind these pillars, I would just aim for this thing right here. That's like an easy boost. And that should hit them. Instead of trying to go for that shot. Like that just seems like an easier shot to me. But yeah, I would take majority of my fights right here. I believe cells, rockets, and shotgun nade or shotgun shells are in the backpack. Cells, shotgun, and rockets, yeah. I guess you could play button too if you really wanted. If you're really trying to hold, this seems like a really hard spot to hold button though.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of what you're saying, Heat, is you want to pick close quarters or places where you know you're going to win the fight. And that's just, it's picking and choosing your battles, is what I'm gathering.
Yep. It's like positioning is the only thing that carries over. I would say like the important thing that carries over for soldier throughout all maps. Like if you have good positioning, like then you can work on your aim. I wouldn't like work on my aim and then work on positioning. Yeah, this just seems like an easier spot. Like if you hit them with a rocket, they're gonna bounce around on these like crazy stupid walls. And it's gonna mess up their movement.
Joke's
Alright.
on you. I don't have any movement.
Stop.
Yes, please.
I almost had him.
Stop is very similar to the SC2 ramp. Well, there isn't really much to this position.
Which is it move. I mean, it is varied based on where the flag is.
Yeah, so initial like right here.
That's the part
this
that I
is-
think I have confusion or
Okay.
issues with.
Alright, so let's go over the different flag positions. If it's on relay,
I'll come move it.
if it's on relay, you want to stand here or here. That way you're
With
limiting.
lasers down.
Yeah, with lasers down. That way you're limiting the offense on which side you need to shoot. You're standing here, you know you're always going to shoot here. Otherwise, they can't get past you. If you're standing here, you shoot there. Same thing, you could play up here as well. Let's choose a side.
I feel like when I play up there, somehow they get in over me. Even though I'm like I'll shoot the wall straight. Like if I'm on the left side, I'll shoot the wall, and I feel like they still get in over me.
I don't think you can go over your.
I might just be late.
Can you go over the head, Nuki?
Yeah, if you angle it So if you angle your conch and you slide, if they're standing on one side, you could angle like through this top corner pretty easily.
Oh yeah, I mean, but what about on my side? You can't go over my side, can you?
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, so you just want to limit like what side. You just gotta pick and choose whatever side you want to play, whatever you're most comfortable with. I like to play the inside corner, so I'll hug this right wall, or I'll play this right wall. Other than that, that's like this spot when it's on relay, and fall back when you know nothing is coming button, and like the heavy calls. There's 4 in main, then you can fall back and you can shoot down here. So the typical spot is this top ramp. Flag when flag's there, still you just hold your walls there and you fall back when it's been calmed. The next spot is probably this bottom ramp. Depending if you have a gun. Well, actually, regardless, if it's here, I'm never playing flag room. That's just me. I'm playing here, or I'm playing here. This is to stop anything coming from bats, and down here is to calm for the demo. If there's like a fast conch coming through. If I'm here, mostly I'm shooting here, or I'm shooting this ramp or this wall. Those are the 3 spots that you're most likely going to shoot, because the way that the offense works when they come through here, they're going to conch, and they're either going to like slide this thing, or they're just going to do a conch over, and you want to hit them on this wall. So just hit them on that wall, hit him here if it's a low conch, and then shoot this wall if they're on bats. You want to just utilize this entire wall if they're DMing you on this thing. You can.
Is
a little
that
easier.
spot more about inflicting damage or protecting the demo?
This is mainly to like, if you can, slow them down, but to give the incoming for your demo to be ready. Because what happens is if you have like a good movement offensive person, they're gonna double conch this. They're gonna do a conch from here, and then they're gonna down conch onto the flag and like chop it out or something. So you just
You've
wanna,
played with cheese.
so you just want to make sure your demo is ready for that. You can also like pre-fire rockets here to try to stop something, but most likely you're going to be shooting here.
What about the guardrail on the bats? Is that is that somewhere you can
This
shoot?
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do it too much just because of how skinny it is. Like if you miss, it'll go through the window or something. Why not play button? Can still give incomings. I mean, you can, but you kind of give up that area right there. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a little, I don't know. I feel like if the demo dies, then it's kind of harder for you to get over to the flag, or it's not as fast, right? You're like further away from the flag. If I'm here at least and they all flood that way, then at least I'm here already.
So, what I've experienced when I was doing the button soldier on this map, if you can go to button real quick. Thank you, sir. How do you recommend playing this? Because I tried pre-firing a lot, and they conked right past me.
So most of the time, what's going to happen is they're going to take this line, like this, like if you see this right here, this set of squares.
Yeah.
That's like their conch trajectory, usually. Yeah. So if you time it, you can just shoot them right there. Most of the time, it's not going to send them straight down, but it'll send them like right in this area. So if you're shooting there, they're going to be here. You don't like, depending on how your demo pipes too. This spot is just kind of hard to hold. What you're trying to do is stall for the demo to get a good dead off. You're not trying to kill. You're just trying to stop the perfect conch to get a fast button. So as long as like you hit this guy and then they're stuck here, this demo man should be in a better position to det than to like get a fast conk coming in and det.
I noticed that you weren't. I mean, I know you're just messing around, but you're not trying to like fight from the front door. Like right there where they're at, you wait for them to come to you. Is that about right?
What do you mean?
Like, do you even bother trying to hit them when they're all the way down there by the front door, or you just wait for them
Oh,
to knock?
you mean like shooting rockets down here?
Yes.
No, yeah, I'm waiting for the highest percentage shot, which I know is going to be this wall or up on this platform. If you want, you can like throw a shotty, but you're probably only gonna be able to throw one shotty before you have to be ready for this conk. Just how the timing of the conks are in this map, because they're gonna they're conking from the yard. They're gonna prime while they're in the yard. They're gonna hit that slide or go over the heavy, and then that second conk is already gonna be ready by the time they get there. So you're gonna be able to get like one shotty and like get a rocket, or you can just be ready with your rocket. I don't think this shotty matters too much. The ones on ramp and river, you want to shoot here. The flight path is usually this thing right here. There's not really much you can do. You got to shoot that wall, and hopefully you either pop them up or you stop them. There's also another spot that's right there. That one's a little less common though.
This map is just a little more difficult, I think, for soldier.
Yeah, just holding the button is probably the hardest part of this soldier spot. Other than that, it's just hugging one of these walls and stopping the ramp slide in. And then when the flag is out, I like to play near the demo man to protect him. Simply because the heavy just can't keep up with everything coming through. If the flag is like stuck over there, I'll play over here just to stop bats, and then I can call if they're coming around for the demo man.
What are some common mistakes from this map?
One is
Chasing.
Yeah, chasing's good. Yeah, that happens a lot. The other one is just, like I said, a lot of just not being productive with your time. So what I see is if flag is out here already, like B said, like playing on button, I don't like this spot. I mean, it's viable, but I don't like it simply because it just leaves vulnerabilities on the flag. If the demo goes down and the heavy's just overwhelmed already and there's like a gun constantly going up and down, that flag is going to be moved where you could have prevented it or kept it somewhere in this area if you were closer. The front door, a lot of people like to slide this, so aim at the top of the ramps and that will pop them up, and most likely they're not going to make it in. They're going to hit like this doorway, and then you can get an easy juggle from there. Another one is if they're doing this close conk, they're going to take this angle here, and you can shoot depending on which side they go. You can just shoot behind, and that shouldn't like hit them. The other one is if they hit this ramp slide, you shoot this right here, and that will just like kind of crater them and stop them somewhere around here.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you time it well enough, like they're gonna crater, and then they're gonna land somewhere here. They're not gonna get that free entrance in. Yeah, most of like I like to play if the flag is out. I'm usually or in this area. My main objective is to give comms for the demo and protect the demo. And then this guy is just choose a side. Don't play in the middle. This is probably the worst spot you can try to play because there's just enough room to go to your left and your right.
Any more questions?
If flag is lower ramp slidable, are you playing still at like mini ramp, or are you playing up by bats at that point?
You mean when it's right here?
Yeah.
I'm playing here. I'm playing to protect the demo man.
Okay, so you're still hanging behind it. It's only when it moves to the front door would you play bats?
If it's down here, if it's in this area, yeah, then I would. Simply because it depends on what the NG.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so it depends on what the NG is doing. Most of the time, a lot of NGs like to build here. This isn't the best spot. It clutters the demo man, and it just encourages more spam towards him. If the NG should like be building here, and the heavy should be here, somewhere around here. So I'll either play up here, or I'll play back here. One of the two. It depends. My decision on this spot is based on what the NG's doing. If I know the NG has a gun on relay and he's like over here, then I'm comfortable being at bats. But if the NG is building here instead, then I'm gonna play over here. Puts it by cap. Yeah, I'm still playing over here. I'm playing the opposite of the NG.
What is your most hated soldier map?
2 fort bottom alley, stowaway top alley. I have the worst depth perception problems. Phantom soldiers, yeah, it's fun.
So Phantom Soldier is similar to Stop, right?
Yes, but you're playing to your team's positioning more so. What I mean by that is if your heavy or your demo goes down, I'm playing in the flag room. I'm not playing that button platform. So if you have a really good read on the offense, playing front door is really effective. And then once the offense like catches on that you're playing front door, then rotate the bats because you know that's what they're gonna do. That's assuming that the button is up. When the button is up, I like to play front door. This just stops the easy conk for the demo, and the demo only has to worry about piping the button and its bats. When sec is down, I'm still playing here-ish. One, because it's easy to stop the slide, like the incoming slides by hitting this wall. And you can also go there if they're going for top. You just it's a 50-50. unless you have like godlike reactions to see the trajectory of what the conk is about to do. But choose one. Shoot there, shoot there. Most likely it's gonna hit if they're going that way. And if the demo or heavy is down, I'm playing this ramp. And then if they're both down, I'm playing on flag.
So when defending the button, you don't actually defend the button, you defend the front door.
I want to limit the amount of options that the offense has.
That's a bold move there, Cotton.
Yeah. I mean on the rush, like if I lock down that, really all they have is this, and they have to go through a heavy and this, which the demo can like easily spam.
I feel like Soldier's more of a disruptor on this map than anything.
Yeah, it's also like it's usually the last line of defense in this map. So usually what happens is the demo and heavy will be down and the soldier has to play flag until to like stall out until the mervs come again. Like that's in my experience, that's see you later, CB. In my experience, that's
He's such a dick.
that's how this map works.
Oh, it's not about him, I'm just exhausted.
If somebody said that in his class, it'd be an automatic failure. He would take such offense to that.
I really would, and I throw him out, but thankfully
I'm falling
he's
asleep,
not me.
CB.
See you later, CB.
GG guys.
In my experience, the best hold on this map is when the soldier is stalling long enough for the mervs to get back. And
So for the mervs to kill him, basically. Are you lagging or are you dancing?
I am lagging.
Yeah, he's definitely lagging. He got the robot voice.
There goes that Comcast.
I mean, he's only had like a 40-point swing in his ping. It's weird. Oh, there it goes.
Games experience where we hold to, uh-oh.
Yeah, heat's all over the place. D holds the 3 or 4 caps on Phantom. That's pretty low.
Yeah, I could speak to a little bit until he comes back. So usually when both the heavy and the demo goes down, the soldier, after the mervs explode or tries to play around the mervs so that the offense can't touch the flag. And by then, usually after maybe 1 or 2 rockets, the demo and heavy should be back. So you're kind of rotating, or you're just stalling for the merv classes to get back. Looks like he's back.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem smoother.
Yeah.
Like that, Conk?
Security has been deactivated.
Yeah, there isn't really much, like, you just have to kind of hit your shots on this map. There's not a lot of, like, trickery.
I guess talk about when the flag is on button ramp.
Oh, button ramp? You just want to play off flag, but you want to limit the amount of options your offense has to get the flag, to get to the flag. So if it's unslidable, I'm playing front door. Like, yeah, I'm just playing front door to stop that slide conk. Because that's the hardest thing for the demo, right?
What if flag's on capture point? So there's always a battle between the heavy and the soldier on who's playing front door and who's playing Where? Like either, I mean, should soldier play bats or oh, he's dying again.
I mean, it's sort of going to depend on where your heavy is, because the soldier's more mobile. So if the heavy's already at front door, you know, the soldier goes to bats because it's easier for the soldier to get there. If your heavy spawns bats or is already up top, then you know it's you go away from where the heavy is, because the heavy is very powerful, but he's not mobile. The soldier's very, very mobile, and you play to that and use it. Nuki has said before that what a lot of people underestimate about soldier is how mobile it is and how quick it is to get around a map. So if you've got you know, too many defenders in the same area, the soldier's the one that's going to get somewhere else effective faster.
I gotcha. He's lagging. He missed an air shot.
He wants to make you look good. After you subscribe to his Twitch stream.
He doesn't stream anymore. He used to subscribe. I was there when he got raided by 400 bots and he tried to say hi to every single one of them.
Enemy has your flag.
Alright, well, I think he's still lagging.
Maybe
it's just inconsistent. I think
he's
it's back
coming
now.
in and out.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it might be a good time to call it unless someone
Yeah, I think
has
so.
more
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, we're down to a handful of people.
Yeah, and it's about time.
They'll-
Cool. Thanks, Heat, for joining.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
Hello?
There he is.
Hello?
Oh, mid tunnel? I'm playing off of wherever the heavy is. If heavy's pushed, I'm playing in the back. If heavy dies, I'm pushing.
Here's a question for you. What do you mean by pushing?
Oh, pushing out, like pushing away from the flag. So if heavy's at the front, I'm playing back to support the demo. Heavy dies, I'm pushing to meet the offense and slow them down or limit the options again.
As far forward as possible or as far as the
No,
closest
just-
choke point?
Yeah, the choke point, like the best spot to get hits. So most likely it's going to be here.
If flags are like right where you're standing at front water, do you play bats?
I'm playing
or
bridge.
Yard? Bridge. Okay.
I'm on the bridge.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thanks for your
This
time.
is great.
No problemo.
Tex, did you stream this whole thing?
I did. You can watch the VOD.
Yeah, I streamed it also. I'll
Okay.
try and cut it up a bit.
Okay, cool.
And then upload it. Cool. Thanks, Heat, for joining. Hopefully everyone learned something. Yeah. Next week we'll have Lat also talking about Soldier, but he's gonna be focusing more on aim stuff. Aiming and conk aiming.
Big Lat. Yeah. That'll be a good compliment to this one.
Yeah. It'll be Tuesday. He can't make next Thursday, so it'll be next
Good.
Tuesday.
Because I can't fucking do Thursdays.
Well, with our Wednesday slot open, I might make more across Tuesday through Thursday, depending on when they're free.
Yeah. Well, thanks for arranging it, Nuki. It's
thank you.
It's been very helpful to have some additional perspectives come in and give guest lectures. turns out they weren't cheats. They were just, playing where you're supposed to play.
Anticipating where they're going to be based on what they've done and how they play.
Final lesson. If you want a quick shoot,
Or do it in yeah.
Intentionally unload one shot with your
release-
shotgun.
you release the shell or an ammo out of the weapon that you want to quick shoot with, or not quick shoot with. So it works the other way around. You release one, and then you fire, last inventory, and you hit attack 1 and attack 2 at the same time.
Oh, it's cheating again?
Yep, just in time for the cheat section of tonight's lesson. Yeah, you can actually
You can download those from Napster as well.
You can actually chain all 3 weapons together. You could do rocket, super shotty, and then single shotty if you've got them all set up and lined up.
Text promoting cheating.
It's I don't like my
it's a feature of the game.
I don't have the binds. I don't use last inventory, so I couldn't do it if I wanted to. But I don't like it anyway, just because I'm less likely to hit the rapid fire shots like that. I'd rather have that fraction of a second to aim and hit 2 shots than miss 2 rapidly, or hit 1 and then waste the ammo on the other shot. Yeah, it cancels the reload, and it's used in a lot of other games, but some people in TFC get heated about it.
I get it. That was a good one.
It takes a lot of skill to pull off, and it takes skill to make it be effective instead of a waste of ammo. Which is why I don't really have a problem with it, but yeah, I can't do it.
I think it's effective versus Scout, but
it's very effective versus Scout if you hit both your shots.
Yeah.
It's less effective versus Scout if you miss one of them, and it's one of those things where you should be working on your basics of soldier and doing all of the other stuff first before you start trying to get into edge case things like quick switch.